Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala.
Namaste, namaste. Jai Shankar, welcome to Satsang, welcome to Satsang. So good to see all of you again, all your radiant faces. Let's have fun today. Don't be so serious, This is the best endeavor one can have in your life. The bestest endeavor is coming down to wanting freedom. Bestest endeavor. So why should we not go jollily, joyfully down the road, down the so-called journey of enlightenment, path of enlightenment, whatever. When we sit here for a few minutes, before we start, it's direct integration with the Supreme Reality within you. You're directly integrating with it. Please pay attention. If we lose power today, pay attention, listen up. So we are connecting with it directly to that powerhouse within you. So let me see how much you're paying attention. Past satsang. What is the facet, the most important facet in spiritual path? Very good. Who said that? Excellent. Who asked you to say that? You're the advanced student. Should wait the others to talk. Anyway, good. Thank you, God. So we're going to talk God, God, and God alone. Beginning of your path, God. Middle of your path, God. End of your path, God. Finished. Your head is severed and that's it. You're done. Head meaning what? The positionalities, your name and form that you're holding on to, And because of holding on to the name and form is when we just cannot come to the fulfillment completely. We can't. Because that's pulling you, right? Nothing can be, you cannot allow anything to pull you down, period, end of story. You know what I mean? You have to be that strict, that alert, that vigilant. And then simply God will dance in your heart. Because He's just waiting to embrace you. Every moment He's waiting to embrace you. And you go frolicking in the park and you're just having your fun times and everything, which is fine. Which is fine for those who come to enjoy life. See, the thing is, I'm not saying you should not enjoy life. I'm saying first come home and then life begins. Life, the beauty of life begins. The beauty of your Supreme Reality within you emerges, blooms like a beautiful lotus and emerges. And then you're just wondering, oh, this is so easy. But a price has to be paid for this. You can't just say, oh yeah, Ma is saying this and whatever. I'm not able to follow it or whatever. It's fine. It's totally, anything is fine with me, okay? I have a lot of patience. But all that I'm saying, if you even have a little inkling, some part of your life that, I want freedom. An inkling. That's it. You come here and you simply sit. And rest, Arunachala takes care of it. I'm not at all saying that I'm doing anything for you, because there's nobody here, there's no personality, and I am nothing and I know nothing. So there you go. You know what I mean? Right there is freedom, folks. Right there is freedom. So basically, you want to talk about 3 things today, which is, I'm not going to go too deep into it. The first one is the prarthana. Prarthana means your prayer. Second one is I say pure intention. The second one is like wanting. First is your prarthana. Prarthana is your prayer and your intention. Because even Ramana Maharshi says, right, you have to put in your little bit of effort. So you're putting in your effort, then comes you have to get the time. You have to find the time to put in that effort. You can't just say, okay, I'll put in the effort, and then you're going here and there, doing the positionality of your name and form, blah, blah, everything. And then the life goes, You're 60 years old, your body is falling apart, you can't do anything. Right? But still there's hope. Bruce, you're here. Hi. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. Sorry, interruptions. Just when I see these beautiful old souls who have been here in Satsang so many times, I want to acknowledge. And the last one is grace. So first is your effort, your pure intention and effort. And what is the second one? Time. You have to find the time, along with the effort, you have to find the time. The last one, everything is just flows with grace. So the first most important thing when you say God, you have God in the beginning, you say, I know nothing. My Lord, I know nothing. Whether you see it as Ganesha, when you see it as Arunachala, you see it as Saraswati, you see it whatever, it doesn't matter. We are connecting with the form of consciousness. We are connecting with the form of Parabrahman. Right? Connecting with the form of Parabrahman, which is the formless reality. So we are connecting with form first. That's totally okay, no problem at all. Because God just comes like a flood through the form, through the Guru principle. Because I'm nothing, like if He wants to flood my being, to give it to you, then it's His call. Right? So those three things you have to practice. And before even that, you just say, all that I know is I want freedom. I want enlightenment. All that I know is that's what I want. And please give me the grace. Please give me the grace. Pick me up and do whatever you want with this being, with this body. But give me that beautiful freedom. Because I want to merge with you and I'm not interested in anything else. But you, do you have the courage to say that? Leaving all of it, everything, all relationships, internal and enlightenment. It's a very tall order, but you know what? It has to be done. If you're sitting here for freedom, it has to be done. Otherwise, there's no beating around the bush and going this way and giving all these little things to entertain you. There's no entertainment here, folks. Just the true, real reality, supreme reality. So, the beginning, you're praying to God in the morning when you get up and you're saying, please take me. Give me this freedom, which I so long for. Because I'm only your child. I'm only your child. How can you not give me this? He will give it to you immediately. Depends on your intention, depends on your intensity, depends on your Shraddha, depends on your Bhakti. If that Shraddha and Bhakti is pure, we're talking about purity, no? If that Shraddha and Bhakti is pure, why would He not lift you up? I guarantee you that that's what happened to this one. Why would He not lift you up? It's too much today. Can you feel it? Tear everything away until there's nothing but the self. And then live in that present moment. That's the thing we have at the back. You don't have to turn and look. But when I read that, it just blew me away. It's by Ramana Maharshi. Just blew me away. Tear everything down. Can you do that? Or you want to keep your toys? You want to keep a little of this and a little of that, which is fine with me. You'll still go, you'll be still in the path. It's fine with me, but you'll be delaying it. You'll be postponing it. You'll be postponing the path, no? Why do you want to postpone, no? Because why I'm saying is once you come fully home, when I say come home, I mean full enlightenment, fully devoured by the Supreme Reality, until there is nothing of you. Your busy mind, your erudite mind, your this and that and everything else. There's none of that available. You're simply basking in the sunlight of the Supreme. And there is a purposelessness to it. You have to appreciate and practice purposelessness, because then you're a nobody. You don't have a purpose. You don't have to prove to the world you are somebody. You don't have to prove to the world that you're you're an artist, so you have to keep painting the rest of your life. I was an artist, I got a degree in fine arts and everything. And people, when I've started doing God said, you need to do this. And I started doing this. I had no time to pick up my paints because, who cares about painting? And everybody my beloved ones, my family used to tell me, like, please, Amma, pick up the paints. And they gave me an easel and they gave me all this again. Couldn't pick it up one single day, because there's something enormous, vast, supreme taken over your life and simply does what it wants with you. It simply takes that life and simply devours it and then delivers something else. And you say, oh, wait a minute. So all of those fascinations in your life has to be given up. Fascinations of your thought saying that, keeping you in the prison, your past keeping yourself in the prison, saying that, oh, you know what, you're so good at this, so you keep doing it. Like you're a great cook, so you got to keep making your prasads. Well, I'm giving you everyday analogies and examples so that you know not to talk about this one. But I used to be a big prasad maker. Okay, so chakra pongal and this and that in the US. So they used to love it so much that they kept asking me to make it. And one day I looked. See, this is why I'm saying you have to do the introspection, right? Because every moment you have to simply, because you're the thief and you're the police. So you got to be the police and keep watching yourself. What am I doing wrong today? What even the slightest falsity, asatoma, sadgamaya, even the slightest falsity, you got to refrain from it. The slightest untruth, refrain from it. So one day I realized that everybody would praise. There'll be 300 people. It'll be like Tamil New Year's Day or Telugu New Year's Day or whatever it is. Then it's the celebration, and then I would make this prasad and take it for like 200-300 people, whatever, and everybody just loved it. So they all would come and say, oh, who made the prasad? And they'd say, oh, Sharada, So I would just feel very nice, I would say, wow, it really turned out so good, that's okay. And then I noticed one time the organizer called me, and before she called me, I was contemplating it, and I said, you know what, there's a little tiny little bit of kind of, happiness, joy, It's nothing wrong with joy, but, like I feel like, oh, I'm very good at doing this. So I said, I'm going to refrain from doing it. So she called me and I said, I'm sorry, I can't make it this time. She was so upset. She said, I don't understand what you're talking about. What the heck, she used the other word, and she said, I don't understand what you mean by this. I said, it's exactly what I meant. I have no idea. Like she says, why? Give me a reason. If we don't have you, then we don't have prasad. I said, no, you'll find somebody to do it. So this is what I'm talking about. Introspection, contemplation. You have to just keep your hatchet in your hand for yourself and chop, chop, chop. If you don't chop, chop, chop every day, like if somebody cannot do it and you're going to run out of the satsang, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm telling you to hold on to your chairs during transmission. Do not run out. Because that's when the cream of the whole satsang is the transmission. Because the truth is always spoken. Everybody knows the truth. Blah, blah, blah. Everything is fine, So any questions thus far about contacting God in the beginning, contacting God, keeping God with you as a best friend in the middle until the end, where He is shining with you. You're shining with Him. Towards the end, I'm saying, you're shining with Him. He's so happy. Oh, my child has come to me. My child has arrived at my lotus feet. And how can I not pick him up? See what I'm saying? Are you prepared to just give up everything in this fascinating world and say, I want only you? I want only you. Can you say that? Any questions? I don't want to forget reading this. Yes. Please wait for the microphone.
I find that my whole adult life I've been struggling with my concept of God. And I would be happy if I could find God rather than struggle with my concept of God.
Okay, so I would rather what? Define God? You want me to define God?
Rather than struggle with my
Struggle with-
concept of
okay.
God.
So give me an example. What is your concept of God?
Well, at this point, I believe that everything in creation is self-organizing intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
And this intelligence at the speed of life, the self-creating intelligence at the speed of life is what we call consciousness.
Yes, very good. Very good.
Beginningless
Okay.
and endless.
So what
But
I'm
that's
saying
still a
is,
concept.
yeah, well, everything is a concept if you look at it that way. But become a child. See, like you've got a very erudite mind and you have all these concepts. But I'm saying today, forget about all the concepts. Drop all the concepts today. You just become a child. Just become a child and saying she's talking about God, the supreme consciousness who has created this world and everything. You can put it in scientific words, but I don't know scientific words. I only know the truth of God. So if suppose you become like little child and just do what I'm telling you, get up in the morning and say that consciousness which they all call God, I do not know about it. Okay, I'm just your child. I know that you've created me in some way. My parents have brought me into this world. Because you can argue at every point. You can say, well, God didn't create me, my parents did. You know what I mean? Who created your parents? And it goes on like that. The chicken or the egg. So just begin as a child saying that in the morning when you get up, that beautiful consciousness that they all call God, I do not know about you yet. Please, I am trying to contact you and I'm sitting at your lotus feet. Please take me and make me understand who you are. And then middle of the day also you say the same prayer more intensely. End of the day say whatever it is, I am sitting here in this satsang. Who brought me here? Right? You came to the satsang, you're sitting here. Who brought you here? There's a beautiful orchestration, folks. Don't miss the orchestration. There's a beautiful orchestration every moment in your life. If I look at that retrospect, what all happened to me and why it happened, at that time I questioned it. I said, I don't understand. Why so many surgeries? And which part of my body do you want? Are you going to be leaving behind, right? So that was all for a reason, for purifying this one. I don't know how purified I am, but anyway, here I am, right? So that it's just taken you and put you there and say, just do it. So it's a rarity, no? So just going back to your question, just be a child and you will see immediate results because you have stopped all the scientific reasonings and concepts and everything, and you're saying, I don't really care what the concepts are because I don't seem to believe in anything and it doesn't seem to stick and I'm still floating around. So here is, bless you. So here I am. I'm just like your little child and I've come here to meet you, my Heavenly Father, or however description you want to give it. Because you become a poet when you start contacting God, You start like a child, you're just like crawling there, as a child, and then you're sitting there in front of him. For some reason, I always used to see myself like a little chick, like a little fluffy yellow chick, and pick, at the feet. Every time I would see God as this huge feet, and I would be sitting there at his little big toe and trying to peck on him and just kind of be there like that. So be like that, be like the littlest thing. Who cares? Then when you're picked up, you will become that enormity and merge with him. Now what is that? He so many times told me, you are me and I am you. You are me and I am you. How many times? Can you imagine God, the creator, the whole entire freaking world? It's under him, coming and telling you, you are me and I am you. That's how beautiful the relationship becomes when you completely dedicate your whole life to that vastness. And simply know beyond a doubt that, this is what I want to do. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't need to have all the answers. Somebody will say, do you know what this is thing about? Like there was a, they say the intelligence of the heart, because people, scientists, they say like, well, you need the brain and all this thing. But the research has been done, but I forget this science, the researcher behind it. But he said, heart is thy name, O Lord. Ramana Maharshi says, heart is thy name, O Lord. And that's what it is. He says, heart is the most intelligent aspect of your whole beingness. Any questions so far? That's a beautiful question. Thank you for asking. What's your name?
Arvind.
Arvind. Yes, Arvind. Thank you.
Thank you for a beautiful answer, Maharaj.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I read last time, but like the sun's rays touching the lotus to bloom and awakening its fragrance. By the way, this book is by my Swamiji, Ishwarananda Giriji Maharaj. He's written innumerable books, like I've always told in the satsangs. But these books are in English, because if I start doing in Sanskrit, like I said, I'm not a scholar, but I'm able to read because my second language was Hindi. But these are just amazing gems, Diamond 60. We used to sell the books here, but then we ran out of it, or whatever happened, I have no idea. Like the sun's rays touching the lotus to bloom and awakening its fragrance, the Atman causes all of the pulsations of life. Therefore, recognize the touch of the Atman behind each wave of experience. What is the Atman? That is the super consciousness. That is the conscious that Arvind was talking about just now, asking the question. That is God only. That is God encompassed in this little self called you, the name and form. But that God is encompassed, called the Atman, and He is there within you at all times, completely supporting, guiding, filling you with serenity, kindness, love, compassion, which nobody else can fully do, right? How can they fully do but God? Be subtle and alert. This is the very, very, very important. Alert. Be very alert, because you don't know when He'll come to pick you up and you're like gathering something. You're just like, oh, I'm just busy doing my little self thing. So don't miss the boat, is what I'm saying, because you never know. See, you're sitting here, right? So you're ready. So if suddenly, after today's transmission, you go out and then something happens, I'm not saying don't have any expectations, okay? That's another thing. You cannot have any expectations. Prerequisites, we went through the first thing. I don't want to go back to kindergarten teaching, but prerequisites, one of the prerequisites is no expectations, Be subtle and alert to discover the bliss, which is the still, unchanging, fundamental fabric of life. In between the activity and repose that constantly goes on, alternating in life, is your individual self. Feel it. That's the self I'm talking about. That which encompasses this huge, this small body, it's encompassing this Atman, this pure self within you. It is very difficult for a slave. This is so important. It is very difficult for a slave to understand the worth of freedom and the need for paying a price for it. A worldly mind cannot see the possibility of acting without calculation. This is so important. First of all, if you are a slave, you cannot want freedom. Slave to what? Slave to your little self, your body, mind, your name and form. Right? You will say, why, what's wrong with my name and form? I'm such a wonderful person. Everything. But unless you drop that wonderful personness, you will not come to see the most wonderful person. More wonderful than that, you will not be able to see at all. A worldly mind cannot see the possibility of acting without calculation, much less its grandeur. Just as simple purposelessness nourishes the body and mind, even so, pure non-attachment, nishkama, nourishes the soul in every act. These are the two most wonderful things you have to follow, which is, the purposelessness and non-attachment. Any problems with that before we move on? Any problems with that? Purposelessness? Because people will say, oh, you're such a bum, you're sitting here like all day long doing absolutely nothing. And then, so what, when do you think? I used to be asked like, so it's 10:30. It's actually 10:30. That's so funny. Oh my God, talk about orchestration, Shambho. Thank you. So in the morning I'd be sitting and just meditating and meditating and meditating, and then I'll be just in my own blissed out state. I didn't care about what I had to do at home or something. So, you know, uh, my better half would come and say, so it's 10:30. What is your plans for the day? Oh, nothing. Absolutely nothing. And he'd be so blissed out. Okay, and he would say, okay, I didn't get my oatmeal today. I didn't get my coffee today. Nothing was done for me. I said, yeah. I mean, I had no answer for him. So that's the thing. So are you prepared to give up all of that? Oh no, that's scary thing. What will my partner do? He will leave me. He will not. He will not, because first of all, I want to talk a little bit about love. It'll come, I think, in this. I'm not sure. The process of sweetening, where did I leave? Body, mind, and non-attachment, niskama, nourishes the soul in every act. See, it nourishes the soul when you're not attached. I say lovingly unattached. So what does that mean, lovingly unattached? It means that you're loving this person at this moment. You have no problem doing some savor for him or her or whatever, or them. You're doing all of that, but you're unattached. You're lovingly unattached, because the time when you have to do something or sit in your meditation, you're going to tell them, I'm going to be busy for an hour. Thank you. Oh, but you're supposed to do this for me. I know. Maybe later. Is that okay? Because you're always very kind. Because love is God and God is love. You become a personification of love, folks. That's where presence, this whole thing, with this one. If suppose you're sitting here, I will give my life for you to even take one step forward. I will give my life. What else is his life for? What else is his life for? For some accolades that, oh, Sharada Ma. It's just a name that was given to me. So that love that encompasses you at every moment, because when God has taken over your life and becomes like one with you, He's only flowing. He's only flowing. And that full flow is only that love from the divine, from the supreme. And then you get so basked in that sunlight of the supreme love that you're just like, oh my God, I'm not sure whether I'm coming or going. This is just too beautiful. That's why I'm saying, once you come home and you're in the total freedom, then only life begins. Then only life begins. Before that, nothing. You're struggling. You're going like uphill battle, right? Life begins only after you've found that love in your heart, which opens a closed door, right? If you feel very closed, it opens that door, because you start looking at that love and then you say, oh my God, this so-called God, He's showering His grace and love for me, at every moment. See what I'm saying? Makes sense? The process of sweetening needs something to take upon itself the taste of sugar. Even so, loving means others taking upon themselves the essence of yourself. This is exactly what I explained just now. This is only love. So if you're loving to everybody at every moment, which is God, which is nothing but God, then you're going and interacting with the other person. They take on your love automatically. They cannot but, no? They can't resist. And they don't even know sometimes that they're taking on the love. That's the beauty. That's the beauty. For some reason, they're very happy in your presence. They don't understand why. Just a very ordinary person. Why is that I'm so bewildered about the love that this person is just completely, exuding? So I want to read it again. So even so, loving means others taking upon themselves the essence of yourself. Others open themselves to you, and you yield to them to effect an as natural a pose and harmony as you have in yourself. Did you get that? And that is so beautiful. So then you're transforming. You're not doing anything, you're not thinking, see, like he said, like calculation, no calculation whatsoever. So you are simply going around, simply transforming every moment without having any calculation. Oh, today I've transformed 50 people. You don't even think about it because it's a process that's happening very naturally. It's so freaking vast, folks. I promise you, it's so vast you cannot even put it into words. To try loving is a spiritual effort, a sadhana. But love itself is the spiritual essence. That's what I feel all the time. Love itself is a spiritual essence. Essence which is a natural gift in your beingness. Thank you. The breezes are incredible. It's just a secret between me and Shambhu, you know. It is the fruit of years of blowing and smelting, spreading and blowing again, till the heart becomes a pure and burnished gold and as vast as the sky. Till the heart becomes as pure as burnished gold and as vast as the skies. Just now I told you how vast it is. It is so supremely vast. Now this is very important. Affection to creature, however elevated, is to the love of God as a mud puddle in an ocean. Let us not be satisfied with the common factor of wateriness. Common factor of wateriness. So very happy, oh nice big blue skies and big blue ocean, and happy about it. You got to go deeper. You got to delve into that ocean of bliss and really taste that amrita that is there waiting for you for tasting it. Unrestricted, no, I don't want to read that. Be yourself, be in love. Nothing more is desirable or can be said. Be yourself, be in love, and nothing more desirable can it be said. True love is heaven revealed in the soul. It is light and truth. It is infallible. It has no errors, for all errors are want of love. All errors are want of love. Right? If you are just love and you're flowing as love, then there's only love. So there's no question about anything else other than love, 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 and joy and peace and just glory, every moment. It becomes so glorious. And so for Arvind also, contacting God as love is also another beautiful pathway. True love is heaven revealed in the soul. It is light, the truth, and it's infallible. It has no errors, for all errors are want of love. It has but one will, and that is to give itself up to everything and overcome all evil with good. This is the main thing, right? Like when you are filled with that love, you want to give to everything that comes your way at every moment. At every moment, you want to give away that love that you have. And what more can you do? If you can just do that, then God will take you. God will take you deeper and deeper and deeper. And you will see this is not so difficult after all. This path is not so difficult after all. This is doable. This is doable. Dewdrops do not hang in mid-air or flow on the barren ground. They are deposited and gleam most beautifully on the blades of grass. Your pure yearnings are the grass on whose wings the dewdrops of divine mercy descend to nourish divine sprouts of the soul. Thank you for listening to this reading. I felt it was very important, and I didn't even find the page. The divine found it for me. That's what happens each time. Any questions? Any questions on love? Difficulty on giving love, difficulty of giving of yourself, difficulty of sharing whatever you have with another person who has less. So here is another secret. Every time, say, you're going through the day, you're starting with God, your middle, you're thinking of God. That's why we say 3 times a day meditation. If you cannot sit for 1 hour, sit for whatever time you can possibly sit in the beginning. Because in the beginning, I'm very sweet. I'll say it's okay, sit for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Then we start raising up the heat because we don't have much time. It's the 4th satsang today. So we have only 6 more, 8 more, I suppose. Yeah. So all those 3 times in the day, why I'm saying is 3 times you think of God, you're connecting with that supreme reality who has created you, who is sustaining you. Whether you like it or not, you're being sustained. So contact and you're being in meditation. Any time you close your eyes for a couple of minutes, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, say you're very perturbed, you got up in the morning, you prayed to God, everything is going beautifully, and then suddenly somebody said not so good things about you and said, you know what, you just did this way, whatever. And you were a little bit perturbed. It's okay. Immediately close your eyes. You may say, I'm not a meditator, I cannot meditate like you, whatever. It does not matter. Immediately close your eyes, sit down, and just meditate for few minutes. Just for few minutes you meditate. Then you will see you're back on the saddle again. Because that connectivity, God is saying, oh, let me just see if he's going to come or she's going to come. So once you get up and you say, God, please help me, then you're connected again. There was this little boy, Brahmin boy, who was doing his Sandhya Vandan, which is like the Gayatri. They initiated into the Gayatri. So he was doing the Gayatri in the Ganges River. He was taking 3 dips in the Ganges River, and he was coming up. And and all these urchin boys were throwing stones at him because they didn't know the beauty of him doing his sadhana. They started throwing things because they didn't know the meaning of what he was doing. So they were throwing stones. It was hurting him. So he kept saying, Bhurbo Suha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachoyadat. Coming up, again stones. Again he would go, say Bhurbo Suha, again stones. So Narayana was sitting and Lakshmi was pressing his thing, he was watching this child. So Lakshmi said, Swami, you got to do something. This boy is being attacked, He's taking, he's doing his Gayatri and taking your name and look, he's being attacked. So he says, wait and see. So he was waiting. I'll go in a few minutes, he says. I'll go. I don't know if some of you know about this analogy, example. And then he's sitting. And then this boy was hurting so badly, right, the stones. So he took 1 stone back and he threw it back at the urchins. He just took 1 stone, threw it back at the urchins. Narayana was getting up, he sat back. He said, oh, he's trying to take care of himself. I don't need to be there. You see what I'm saying? Sharanagati, Sharanagati, Sharanagati. Surrender. If you surrender completely to Ishvara, he'll be there before you know it. But you have to also wait. You have to have, when in the process of surrender, if you're not completely believing in the surrender, then how will you get help? Half baked apple pie. If you don't completely believe in your own surrender, then how will God come to rescue you? Every time he has rescued this one. Every time. I'm just going to die. Okay. The last but one surgery I had. I have to tell you this because very appropriate. So it was a major surgery and I was between life and death kind of thing. I had a very bad infection and whatever. So I went there and I said, my San Diego students are very beloved to me and around the US as well. And so when I went there, I knew that I may not make it back, So I wanted to be, I was still attached. I was not attached to any of my children or any of my other family. I was very, no, I wouldn't say attached, but I was just concerned. What would happen if suppose I pass this time, what would happen, And so I said, oh, wait. And then God just said, oh, don't worry, I'm just cleaning you up. And I said, no, wait. I told God to wait, okay? I said, wait. Don't interrupt. And then I said, first I have to get rid of this San Diego group also, US group also, because I have to be okay with not having any attachment when I leave this body. It has to be clean. So I said, okay, I let them go. I said they will all be there. They'll get another master, whatever. I'm all done. Went into the surgery. It was a 6.5 hour surgery. I came out, and my daughter was putting my hand and saying, "Mom, you're such a trooper. You made it. You made it." I said, "Oh, okay." So here I am. So that is the complete Sharanagati, because you can't just say, "Oh yeah, I am going to come back and then I'm going to continue doing this satsang and blah 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 blah." Right? That's finished. So suppose I actually went that time, I'm completely done, clean slate, no attachments, no nothing of even one pin I left behind, nothing. That's what I'm talking about, Sharanagati. Okay? So shall we do the transmission? Taking a deep breath, inhaling light, peace, love, and exhale, dropping everything that does not serve you. Deep inhalation, and exhale, dropping even further, dropping everything just for this 1 hour. Taking a deep breath, inhaling light, peace, love, and exhale, dropping everything and keeping yourself free, totally free for this short period. Sitting here and just being, not being this or that, and accepting God's love through this transmission, praying to clear you out and bring you to full freedom, complete freedom. Slowly come out. Don't open your eyes yet. Take in a gentle breath, inhaling light, peace, love. And exhale, dropping everything that came up to be released. Deep inhalation, inhaling light, peace, love. And exhale, dropping further that which does not serve you. Be very authentically truthful to yourself. Chopping all unnecessary distractions of life. No matter how wonderful they may seem to be. It's already too late. It's time for complete deep sadhana, spiritual practice. One last time, deep inhalation, inhaling light, peace, love. And exhale. And just be as you are, not be this or that. Be in that altered state, even though we are coming out. Also remember that the infinite grace transmission continues for a couple of days at least, if not more. So don't dissipate the energy. Try to keep your interactions minimum if you want the fruit of this. And also your meals, keep it sattvic. Sattvic meals, vegetarian, if possible. Slowly open your eyes when you're ready. Thank you. Thank you so much. All that I can say is I thank Arunachala immensely. He knows that already. So much support from him, without which I could not be sitting here at all. So I'm just deeply humble and grateful for his presence in our lives today and every day. So take that with you and always have the confidence, whether you're a beginner, whether you're in the middle, have the confidence that this is the most beautiful Punya Kshetra in the world. I won't go to any other pilgrimage in the world after I found Arunachala. So thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Namaste.